Hello there, I'm Helen Callanan, the Managing Director of Preparing the Way. And I wanted to make a little video to share a couple of things. We've been getting some questions from people who've done some of our training. Maybe I've met you on our little Exploring End of Life Your Way, that little free workshop we do, or maybe you've done the foundation workshop with myself or Joe Fuller. One of the questions we often get asked at the end of that training is like, well, what now? What can I do with this information that I have? And look, the reality is that all of us at some point in our life are going to either need a doula or be a doula. And when I say be a doula, you might do that for someone in your private family. You might do that for a close friend. You might do that in a volunteer capacity, somewhere that you are volunteering. Or you may choose to take that into as a profession and become a professional end-of-life doula to support people at end of life. And all of our training is really geared to give you the information, the resources, the education you need, whether you want to support one or whether you want to support many. So the foundation workshop is basically the equivalent of one day, or it's delivered in 2 half days. And that's the foundation. That lays the foundation. So those 9 or so hours are touching on a heap of subjects that cover what is a doula, what does a doula do, what about all of those different stages of life, and how does a doula fit into each of those. As I said, whether for one person in your life that you care about, whether you're looking at your own planning even, or whether it is that you want to do something like this in your community and in your, do it professionally. So after the foundation workshop, there's the 4-day intensive, a deep dive. And we've had over 500 people do that training now and go out into their worlds and their communities. They're either offering education to people, they're doing talks and helping their communities get more educated in this space and have those conversations, or they're vigiling with people, or they're helping people after death and know what their options are. There's so many options out there that most people don't know about. They're providing spiritual and emotional support to people. You know, one of the greatest, and I think underrated things in our world is our grief. And especially here in the West, we bury it so quickly. So maybe it is that you've got this capacity to sit with someone, to be with someone in their grief, to hear them, to care around what they're talking about, to, as we call it, hold space for that person, not to fix anything, but to really authentically be there and care, and to have your heart do the work, not your hands and not your mouth. Really important. You know, depending on what you want to do, you might be helping people navigate the medical and healthcare system. You might be working as a doula under the NDIS program or My Aged Care and have clients that are accessing those things. You know, you may want to become a qualified end-of-life doula, which we now have the certificate for in end-of-life doula services that's on offer. And that's brand new and a world first. So there's all sorts of levels and layers to our end-of-life doula training. And we invite you to come and have a look. If you're not sure, because you've got to work out what are your goals. And then how can do we have anything that can match and support you fulfill what's important to you? So we really want to grow our doulaverse. We need to. Our world needs us to. There are people out there dying alone. There are people out there that are scared. There are families floundering simply by not having someone there who knows how to support them and find resources with them. So if you're feeling drawn to that, or whether for one or for many, we invite you to come and join us.